If I never go to Africa and touch the soil of the motherland in Africa across the water, I have lived and am living an African life and tradition here in Oyotunji. We feel proud of our heritage just being black. We ain't even got to the African part yet.
I think it recalls the African souls that live dormant in these people walking around on the subways and in their BMWs. I think that they're asleep, those souls, those African souls that live in each and every African living in America here.
Oyotunji African Village for the last 35 years has built, developed, expanded Yoruba culture in the Americas. Oyotunji African Village stands now, in this year, 2006, as the only authentic Yoruba African village in North America. Oyotunji African Village, the seat of Yoruba culture in North America.
Because Oyotunji was like something that I have been looking for all of my life.
The teachers or wise ones come along and activate that soul. It wakes up. and the eyes of your soul just open up, and then you see a world that you didn't see before. It was sleep before.
Oyotunji grew out of, the experiences that lots of African Americans were going through at that time, but they didn't understand they were supposed to pass through each thing, and then but some of them got lost or got lazy or something.
Well, Oyotunji is like a safe haven for those who are in need or who are looking for a cultural vehicle to express themselves. I never really fit, or I never felt comfortable in the American community, and the experiences that I had there, I didn't want my children to have to inherit that kind of a environment.
Because what lives inside of them is based on someone else's belief.
There was always some drama, or we were always made to feel that we were different or that we were inferior.
I said, well, why? Don't they want to know about African culture? And it's, well, no, it's not that they don't want to know about culture, but their own spirituality becomes threatened. And so that's my answer. They become threatened by those who stand very sure and firm. And so Africans, I feel, most Africans I've met are very confident in their spirituality, if in nothing else.
My spirit was searching or seeking something, as we say. I'm compelled by a spiritual force that I cannot resist.
Besides Niyashe Kanki Fag Badashe,
which
means a spiritual force that I cannot resist.
And so Oyotunji is like a safe haven for people who have become very disillusioned with America.
The political system can usually become pretty comfortable for people of a particular ethnic group. Several systems are formed. Certainly not going to form anything that people wouldn't tolerate under any circumstance.
In 1970, when Oyotunji was founded, there was a plethora of problems that faced Oyotunji. Some of the problems included, of course, moving to a swamp area. And these were urban dwellers that moved to the South Carolina low country. So there was mosquitoes, there was plenty of water in the earth, and it was a woods, or as we say in Yoruba, Igbo. So we had to cut down trees in order to clear land in order to build.
But I think there's been enormous progress made.
Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing about Africa. Don't tell me nothing about Africa. I ain't from Africa.
So finally, this girl says to me, well, didn't you ever go to the mall and shop and wear clothes like we do? Didn't you ever, not wear those things that you have on? And I said, well, of course I did. When I came out of college and before the marks and the nose ring, we had high heels and navy blue suit every day.
And when I said I was moving to the Oyotunji African Village in South Carolina, well, my immediate family, my mother and my sisters and brother, they were kind of very reluctant. The only one that really gave me the most support was my grandmother, who said, baby, this ain't nothing they made up, is it? And I told her, no, ma'am, this is nothing that's been made up. It's something that has been part of our ancestry for thousands and thousands of years. And my grandmother said, in that case, that she would support me. If you got 1 ounce of a grain of black in you, they wouldn't dare say African. Black. But they just said black, so, like there's a black land. They knew, never heard of a black land. They always thought Africa was something dark and mysterious because of lack of knowledge. If you want to go to Africa, go back to Africa. All those kind of negative things that try to make you really feel bad, but, you just show their own ignorance. Because I feel good about my Africanism. It's a lot of spookism, and our people are the greatest conjurers of it. White people, they be beating a path down here. I want the Eli. The first time I came, I saw the Elis. I want the Elis.
What are the Elis?
Elis are the tribal markings that are passed down through our cultural ancestry that hail from the Yoruba culture. And I was told that the Elis are there so that when our ancestors look down upon us from the spirit world, that they're able to identify us and that we stand out.
I think the African American has and will continue, unfortunately, for a little while longer to look for sure ground. I am assured that if Africans in America had always been taught their culture and the reciprocity, as Lauryn Hill says, of their culture, what the payback of having one's culture is and reclaiming one's culture and holding on to spiritual things, we wouldn't even be in this. You see, but because they don't have that, then fear is running rampant.